Hey guys, today's video is going to be about vertex form of quadratic functions. So we're kind of going back to the stuff we were doing before ACT prep, before snowstorms, all of that. And the vertex form of a quadratic function is f of x equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And this tells us lots of valuable information about the function, especially about the graph. So h comma k is the point on the graph that is the vertex. And x equals h is the axis of symmetry. So x equals is the form we write it in, and h is a number. And then a determines the width and direction of the parabola. So why bother using this form? We use this form because the vertex form shows the vertex on a quadratic function in respect to its parent function, which is f of x equals x squared. So it tells us how it moves from here to whatever that function might be. So over here, we have written out all the different shifts and changes. And these are very similar to the translations, transformations, whatever you want to call them, that we did on our last test, okay? This is like we had f of x plus h, f of x minus h, f of x plus k, all of these things. These are all the same rules, but this time they're applied to a specific parent function. So in this one, we're going to do the odd numbers. I'm going to let you do the evens. So the first one, the plus 9, or let's look at it this way. All right, so we have f of x equals x squared. So that is the parent function. So anything outside of that has to be talked about because it's different. So we need to address this plus 9, and that is not in parentheses with the x, so that means it has to be this k value. And k shifts it up or down, and we have a positive k, so it is going to shift up. So the answer for number 1 is up 9. That's it. Okay, so the next one, our parent function is x and squared. That's the only part that is the parent function. So we need to talk about the minus and the plus 5. So the negative is out here where a should be. And in the parent function, a is just equal to 1. But it didn't change the number, but it did change the sign. And so this plus or minus says that if it is positive, there's no change from the parent function, and it opens upward because remember, parabolas are a U shape. But if it's negative, then it reflects across the x-axis and opens downward. So that's what's going to happen over here. This is reflect across x-axis. So we took care of that part. And now we need to take care of the plus 5, and it is in the parentheses with x. So we need to look at what h does. We have a plus 5. That's going to make this shift left. So our equation is also going to go left 5 units. And so we've taken care of that now, and we're done with number 3. So on number 5, x squared is our parent function. So that means we need to take care of 1/3, and we need to take care of plus 2. 1/3 is in the place of a. So we need to look at this. We need to know, remember, it doesn't count the sign of a. We're just looking at a, whether it's positive or negative, doesn't matter. So a is 1/3. 1/3 is less than 1, so this is a compression. So we have a vertical compression, and you can abbreviate by 1/3. That's how you write that. So we've taken care of that guy. Now we have to take care of this plus 2, and it is in the place of k. So we want to look down here. K shifts up and down, and this is a positive k, so it will shift up 2. So we've taken care of that now. So that means we're done with number 5. So now I want you to complete 2, 4, 6, and 7, and here are instructions on how to check your answers. And now we are going to graph a couple of these. So number 8, it says to give the vertex an axis of symmetry and then graph it. So remember that the vertex is h comma k. So here's h and here's k. And remember that h is going to be the opposite sign of whatever is in your function. So this is 2, 3. So this one is opposite, this one is same as whatever is here. Our axis is always x equals, and it's always this number. So we're going to take this point and put in the middle row of our function, of our, whatever this is called, table, of our table. And then we are going to go down from 2, and we're going to go up from 2, and then we're going to use our calculator. So we're going to go type this in the calculator and find the table of values. And we're going to use that table of values to plug these in. And you should get 12, 7, 4, and then 4, 7, 12. And you'll see that they mirror each other. So then we need to plot these points. Our graph doesn't go up to 12, so we'll start with the 0, 7. So we go over 0, up 7. And then we go over 1, up 4, over 2, up 3, over 3, up 4, and over 4, up 7. And then we're back up to 12 that doesn't fit. And here is our parabola. And guys, that's all you have to do. So we'll try another one here. So the vertex, again, is h comma k. Well, h is the value in parentheses with x, and we don't have anything in parentheses with x, so h must be 0. And then k is the value out here on the end, and that is a -4. And then our axis is always x equals this number. So again, we are going to put our vertex here, go down from 0, go up from 0, and then use our graphing calculator or Desmos to fill in the rest of our table. Don't overwork yourself, it's silly. So we're going to get 5, 0, -3, -3, 0, 5. And if we had the right vertex, if we did this correctly, then those should mirror each other. And then we're going to graph these points. So left 3, up 5, left 2, up 0, left 1, down 3, over 0, down 4, right 1, down 3, right 2, up 0, and then right 3, up 5. And so this one is like that. Okay, so that is all for number 9. Go ahead and pause here and complete numbers 10 and 11 and use these steps to check your answer. Okay, now we're going to do a piecewise function. So remember that whenever we do piecewise functions, we start by drawing a guideline. And that guideline for this function is at -2. So we are going to draw our line at x equals -2. And we actually don't need the table for this one. All right, so we're going to start by graphing this line, and you can graph these on your calculator and use the table, whatever you want. For me, it's easier to think about point slope or slope-intercept form. So because this function is in y equals mx plus b, that's beautiful. The b value is the y-intercept, and that's at -6. So if we go down here to -6 and put a little place marker dot, We only care about this function when x is less than -2. So that's going to be on the left side of our guideline. So we have this, kind of spot holder at -6, and then we're going to use our slope, which is -1/2, to move. So slope is rise over run. So if we were to, you have to choose the top or the bottom to be negative, and it'll take you either direction depending on which one you choose. So if we choose the top to be negative, we're going to go down 1 and right 2. Well, that's going away from our guideline, so that's not what I want. So I'm going to make the bottom negative. So we're going to rise +1 and run -2. And that's going to bring us to here. But remember that this is not equal to 2, or -2, I'm sorry. So we have to use a open circle here. And then we're going to keep following that rise 1, run -2, rise 1, run -2, and so on until we get all the way out here on our graph. So here we go. All right, so that's the first part of our graph. The second part is this parabola. And you can definitely use your calculator again. My vertex is going to be at 1, -5. We learned how to do that before. So if I go right 1 and down 5, I've got a vertex here. So that's 1 point that I can use. And if I use my calculator, I'm going to find my other points to be here, here, and then here is where we're going to cross our line. Well, again, it's not equal to. So we're going to use an open circle again. And then we are going to draw the rest of our dots. And you're getting all these from your calculator from the table. And ta-da! All done. That's your answer. So pause here, complete number 13. Here's what your answer should look like. And this is just a rough sketch, but I need to see all of it. And then finally, we'll do an inequality to refresh your memory. So the vertex here is 3, 0. The axis is x equals 3. And if you notice, it's reflected over the x-axis. So we're going to put our vertex in, 3, 0. Go down from 3, up from 3. And then use our graph, I don't know why I put a 0 there. Use our calculator to fill in the rest, or you can do the math. That's also fine. But we're going to see that our graph should look something like this. So we're going to go over 0, down 9. Well, this graph goes to 8, so we won't do that one. Over 1, down 4. Over 2, down 1. Over 3, 0. 4, -1. 5, -4, and then a 9, which we don't have. And then remember that with inequalities, we have to look at our inequality symbol. This one does not have an equal to sign, so we're going to use a dashed line. Dashed line. And then we need to shade. This says less than, so we are going to shade the bottom of our graph. And that is all. So here is how you can check your answer for number 15. Go ahead and complete that one and then turn in all your work with all your notes and answers. Have a great day.